The health care repeal vote is back on. The vote, of course, was postponed because of the Arizona shooting, but the vote is now set for next Wednesday. In the meantime, the Obama administration is getting advice from the Institute of Medicine on what should be essential benefits under insurance plans bought through the new statewide exchange. Now, 18 people listed here, as you can see, deciding what health care is best for us. These are all experts, but shouldn't you be able to make those decisions? Is this actually how medical rationing begins? Here to score it for us, former New York Lieutenant Governor Betsy McCaughey. Now, Betsy, the Institute of Medicine is a very prestigious institution. It's been around since the time of Abe Lincoln. This 18-member panel are all very good doctors, et cetera, and healthcare officials. But it seems to me the beginning of sort of a setup for a rationing panel.
Well,
am I paranoid here or what?
It's definitely Washington knows best. Section 1302 of this Obama health law says that the Secretary of Health and Human Services is going to define what essential coverage is, what everybody has to have. We're all required to be in this one-size-fits-all type government plan. And it means that the 25-year-old man who'd really like to have just hospitalization because he's single and he wants to put his money back into his business, instead he's got to pay for a plan that covers maternity care, pediatric care. The 55-year-old couple that's never taken drugs in their lives, they have to pay for substance abuse treatment. Or the family of four with 4 children already is going to have to pay for a plan that includes infertility treatments rather than a lot of pediatric care.
And it's the arbitrary
if they decide infertility is covered.
It's the arbitrary nature of this coverage that bothers most of them. The one-size-fits-all. We knew that was going to happen because that's the way government does things.
Well, and the presumption is that we're not smart enough, that we're too stupid to make the decisions for ourselves. It would be like the government saying, okay, no more hatchbacks, no more convertibles, no more SUVs. Americans aren't smart enough to make those decisions.
Well, if Ralph Nader was in charge, if he was the car czar, that's the life we'd live.
Well, you've heard the president say many times we want a standardized health plan so that the companies will compete only on quality and cost rather than design, because we're not smart enough to pick the design we want.
You know, I don't know if you saw the first segment, but the whole idea, I was joking about Ralph Nader, but there's a truth to it, which is that this administration is bodied by people who are activists, who believe that they should control everything we do, whether it involves the cars that we drive or the health care that we receive or the way coal mines operate. Now, you want some administration of safety, but this goes to planning our lives from cradle to grave.
Well, that's right. But also you're going to see in the second part of this a frenzy of lobbyists, the chiropractors, acupuncturists, marriage counselors, wig makers, infertility specialists, all pushing to have their treatment considered essential coverage. We've seen it in New York State, where I was lieutenant governor, which now has the second highest insurance premiums in the country, because those state lawmakers succumbed to the lobbyists and said, okay, 51 mandates. Now, in New York State, they've passed laws so that every health plan has to include it all. It's like passing a law that the only car you can buy is a fully loaded Cadillac. What if you can only afford a Ford Escort?
Well, you know what else it's like? It's like Barney Frank and Maxine Waters lobbying for a particular bank that they had a connection with to get TARP money, even though that bank never deserved that TARP money because it was terribly run. I mean, whenever you have government involved in private sector activity that it shouldn't be involved in, the lobbyists are the winners.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody is lobbying for the average Joe who just wants an affordable plan that meets his needs.
Last word, Betsy McCaughey, good to see you. Have a good weekend. Coming up on deck, the American left failed this